Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Babcock here. We're now just we're weeks away from one of the biggest fights of the year. The man right here, Jake Paul, the problem child, returning to the boxing ring. I think you could make a really strong argument. This is the biggest fight of Jake's career, and obviously he has had massive fights. He had fights that have been watched by more than 108 million people, and we are so lucky to be joined by the man himself. Jake, brother, how are you? How's training going here? As again, we're just a couple of weeks away from this thing, Jake.
Yeah, feeling good, man. This is definitely the toughest test. I think there's like a lot of things out there about the size and all of this stuff, but people forget that Tank's a top 10 pound for pound fighter and he's got power in both hands. And skill wise and technique wise, he's been doing this for so long. And so actually internally, like I'm the most scared going into a fight that I've actually ever been because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is. It's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure, for sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages
Yeah,
in
90
the whole
something
entire
percent,
boxing.
right?
Exactly. Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning, he's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like
Yeah.
this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So just
Wow.
sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed, and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to like lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
Um, I know the answer to this question. Is there any kind of universe where you view just surviving this fight as a win?
Like for me, I never let myself go there.
Yeah,
I'm a fierce competitor and um always need to have the W and come out on
yeah.
top. And so and also shock the world and even shock myself and show myself what I'm capable of.
When you picture how it goes down, is there something that you see yourself doing? Do you see yourself knocking him out? Do you imagine being victorious? And what would that mean for you? A guy again who has only been in this sport for a couple of years. You've turned it on its head. You've had a massive impact clearly in just a few years, but it's only been a few years. That's the bottom line.
No, exactly. This is my fifth year as a pro, and so I've had to progress faster than anyone else in the sport to be able to compete at this level and to be able to hang in there with these guys. But I do believe that I have the power and the offense to be able to walk Tank into a knockout like I've done with other opponents and set them up for it. And so I am fully confident in my ability, and I think it would be one of the craziest upsets in a long time.
Yeah, one of the craziest upsets ever, probably in many people's eyes. Um, well, I think I saw Cardi B just put a $250,000 bet down. It was a parlay, I believe, on Aspen all over Cyril Gahn. But then for Tank to beat you, have you seen that? And what do you think about Cardi B potentially placing a $250,000 bet here?
I didn't
You
know
say, I
about
just
this.
saw it on one of the MMA sites, so I'm assuming it's true.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's funny. I'm the underdog for
Yeah.
this fight, and that excites me even more again to go and prove everybody wrong, including Cardi B. But I'll probably be offsetting her bank account.
I referenced the 108 million people that watched you and Mike in November. think Canelo and Bud did 41 million. Great number, but obviously not 108 million. What are you thinking audience wise here, Jake? How many people are going to tune in to this thing? I get the feeling it's going to be a massive number.
Yeah, it's super interesting, man. And I guess you really never know. But
Yeah.
I think it'll be in that 40 to 50 to 60
Yeah.
million viewership range.
How has Netflix been as a partner? And I've got to imagine that they're incredibly happy.
They're amazing, man. It's really refreshing and they're easy to work with. They see the same visions. They understand entertainment. They have leaned a lot on us for the boxing side of things and putting together the card and all of that stuff. But it's been such an amazing and fruitful partnership on both sides, and everyone's winning, and um, that's all we could ask for. So looking forward to doing more with them in the future, even beyond this fight.
Two quick ones. I've asked you so many times over the years about Canelo. And I'm sure that's still an attractive fight just because of how popular he is, Jake. But has Bud in a way replaced Canelo as? And I know there's been some talk back and forth the last few days. Has Bud replaced Canelo in a way as that kind of dream opponent, or not? Not so much.
I don't think it's replaced him. I think I've always had my eyes set on Canelo. I
Yeah,
would still love to fight Terrence.
yeah.
And I'm sure, who knows what happens at this point in the sport. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. So I'm open to all these conversations, but for me, I've had my targets set on Canelo, and I've been saying it for years and years and years. And so that's really the guy I want. But I have a lot of time left in this sport and we can make all these fights happen.
People aren't laughing at those potential fights anymore. You know how people used to kind of laugh at it, like, "Oh yeah, Jake Paul's going to fight Canelo," well, and or Bud Crawford. It doesn't sound like they're laughing anymore, really.
Exactly. And then once they see what I do to Tank, who's gonna come in weighing, 165
Yeah.
pounds or so, which is the same weight roughly that Canelo fights at.
Yeah.
So um I'm going to prove a lot of people wrong on November 14th and open up a lot of eyes. And then the excuses will start to fly per usual. But I'll just keep on knocking on all these dominoes and yeah, and showing the world what the hard work that I've put in the gym to be able to accomplish these things.
Yeah, it gets to the point where people just got to stop making the excuses and just give you the credit, right? So, again, it's November 14th. Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. I think it's a fight you can't miss, and it's free. So, it's going to be amazing, Jake. We can't wait to watch, brother. I appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Jake.